What's up, everybody? This is Brad, and we have witnessed the end. And it was certainly something. So I thought it would be a good time to talk about what we witnessed and talk about some stuff and answer some questions that I have and then ponder the questions that we were left with. So, right off the bat, I'm waiting for my video of the event. Um, Hang on. Anyway, so what happened was after the initial part of the event where the Cube Queen sends the caretakers and the monsters and the alien spaceships to destroy us all, and the blue cube is shattered. What's supposed to happen is a cutscene is supposed to happen. The camera is supposed to pan down into the underground of the island where the Imagined Order's headquarters are supposed to be. Well, what happened for me was that instead of getting to see the cutscene, I stared at a blank screen for however long the cutscene is supposed to last. And I didn't know if the game had crashed. I didn't know what was happening. I sat there, losing my patience, and then suddenly I was thrown back into the game at the point where the scientist joins up with us, the rest of the loopers, and then takes us to the Foundation and Jones. So what happened and what I had to do was, as I was trying to figure out, okay, like, because after I finished watching it and it went into the end of the screen, where you're floating in the ocean, I was like, something's not right. This seems very empty for such a hyped event. And I got to looking through Twitter and I saw people posting screenshots of the Foundation with, of course, we'll get to this in a minute, with a certain somebody's face. And I was like, okay, something has happened and I've missed. The game must not have played the cutscene for me. I know I've seen that complaint before from people who tried to watch certain events. So I was like, that must have been what happened. So I was just going to go watch the cutscene I missed and just upload what I had. But then I got an idea. I was like, wait a minute. I can just react to the cutscene and splice it in. So that's what I did. So you could tell that something is not quite right because you can see me reacting, because I'll be reacting to the cutscene and then it clips over. And I said something like, wow, I thought the game had crashed or something. I'm glad it didn't. And that's what happened. So yeah, it's the live video is going to be kind of messed up. But anyway, story-wise, as soon as you boot up the game, the blue cube, after having sat on the map doing nothing except giving you shield the whole last season, it teleports over to the new fortress or half fort or whatever it is built outside of Pleasant Park. And it creates a shield. We're not allowed to leave it. But then about 10 minutes before the event starts, cube monster spawning devices show up, and cube monsters start invading the area, and you're supposed to shoot them. And so I did that for a little bit. And then the event starts. The Cube Queen powers up the pyramid and herself. She opens a giant rift in the sky where another mothership and possibly several of them, I think, are shown to be on the other side of the rift. A bunch of the little bitty tiny UFOs from the previous season, the ones that you could fly, they start flying around shooting at us, but the blue cube is protecting us. We can shoot at them. I don't remember any of them blowing up, but they may have. Then she keeps opening up the rift and more ships. The abductor ships come back. The map is thrown into total chaos. The caretakers, she summons the caretakers. A bunch of those come. You can defeat those. We defeated a few of those. And that's after she destroys the UFOs destroy the blue cube shield that they had given us. And at that point, it becomes just a survive. And I actually really like that idea that, we were going to fight her off. We were going to try to stop her. But she just overpowered us. And it became just simply, hey, do what you can to survive. And then eventually we see that the blue cube is shattered. The cutscene opens up with Dr. Sloan coming in strapped to a table, bed, or whatever you want to call it thing, Jones in an orange jumpsuit. So they have captured him. I was right about that. And she basically says, "This is what do you see what's happening now? So this is what happens when you try to play the hero." And she says something about this. So do you know what happens to heroes or something like that? And Jones says, "They live to fight another day." And she goes like, "No." Said, and she hooks him up, puts some kind of device over his brain, and the other big IO guy that's standing there, who was a leaked character from one of the leaks from previously. He's there. She tells him turn on the device. It starts like doing something to Jones, and he's going cross-eyed. And I guess this was supposed to kill him or wipe his memory or something. I don't know. But she says something like, "This isn't personal, Jones, but I am going to enjoy doing this." Then suddenly the Foundation breaks in, shatters the IO guards that were in there, including the big guy, and he frees Jones, and they start to leave, and Sloan's like, "But I saw you die." And the Foundation takes off his helmet and says, "I got over it," or something like that. Now, I don't know what that's supposed to mean, if he's supposed to be dead and he's not, or she just thought he was dead and he wasn't, because he was at the bottom of the ocean for like 2 whole seasons. And so maybe he was dead, and maybe his suit can actually revive him or something like that. I don't know. But the big reveal here is that underneath the Foundation's helmet is Dwayne Johnson. Like, it's his face. It's his head. Now, to be fair, like I said, I don't think they did what I didn't want them to do. What I mean by that is, it's Dwayne Johnson's head. It's The Rock's head. But it's not The Rock. He's not Dwayne Johnson. He's still the Foundation. So that's what I'm hoping is the case, and that they don't actually like try to make him into like, oh, the Foundation is actually Dwayne Johnson secretly. Like, don't do that. Like, if it's just part of his character, like, I'm trying to think. This reminds me of like the what's his name? The Will Smith skin. It's based on his character from Bad Boys. It's not Will Smith, but it's his likeness because it's that he played that character. If it's something like that and some of the other live action skins that we've seen that were borrowed from live action actors, then that might, that makes sense. That I'm fine with that, as long as they don't call him The Rock or they don't call him Dwayne Johnson. If they want to do a separate skin later where he is Dwayne Johnson and he is himself, then that's fine. But just don't make him Dwayne. Just don't do that. Anyway, Jones and the Foundation, they go beat up a bunch of the guards, and the plan seems to be that they're going to flip the island. Now, they don't really, I can't remember if they said that. They said something to that they're going to flip everything or something like that. Anyway, we're shown, we clip back up to the island above ground, and the scientist and the visitors show back up. Now, I wasn't around when those characters were relevant, but they show up. They save the loopers. They open the bunker and take who's left down there, and we reunite. But the visitor flies back up into space. So now I don't know what he was going. I think the scientist told him, said, "I see you on the flip side," or something like that. So who knows where the visitor went? And the other member of the 7 that that has already been introduced, the girl, the woman, she I can't remember what her name is. What is her name? I think it's Paragon. Anyway, I'll have to look. Or Paradigm. Maybe that's it. I think she's the Paradigm. Whatever. I'm sorry. I didn't play chapter 1, so I'm not as familiar with these older characters. But anyway, basically we have to rendezvous with the Foundation and Jones, and Jones drops his gun for the Foundation had given him in the 0 point. A big caretaker shows up, bangs on the side of the thing, lets a bunch of water in, and we clip outside of the island. We're just out on the big big body of water there that surrounds the island, and you literally just watch the island slowly flip over with the Cube Queen still trying to do what she's doing. She yells out no and then just disappears. The sky clears up, everything is nice and blue. The island is now completely flipped over, and a tidal wave takes us to the blank loading screen of us just floating in the ocean. And that's the end of the event. Now, questions is, my obvious question is, though, where does this leave the IO? Because Sloane's not dead. They just left her. We're surely not done with the IO. The Foundation did say, when Jonesy saved him, he was like, oh, you actually did save me. He's like, yeah, because you told me you would get me Geno. He's like, oh, well, okay, thanks a lot, Thanks for saving me, I guess. So the only reason the Foundation really saved Jones is because Jones has valuable information that he needs. And maybe that was what Sloane was doing, was trying to wipe Jones's memory so that they couldn't get to him. But that's already been foiled. And to me, the big question is, what happened to the Cube Queen? Is she gone? Is she dead? Did she just get teleported back to wherever she came from? There was a ton of UFOs. Are they going to come back at some point? Because a lot of this stuff seems to be like building up towards later things, like the original cube coming to the island. That was brought back for this. We didn't really find out what the blue cube really was, other than it was to help us. We didn't find out why is it blue? Does this do anything? Does it mean anything that it's blue besides that now it's helping us? Is that all it was there for? Why did it sit in one spot and not do anything till just today? To me, there was a lot of big questions we didn't get answered, and they'll probably answer them at some point somehow. Midas did not show up, despite the fact Donald Mustard just randomly told us yesterday that he's still alive. I guess he'll be part of the next chapter, or in some way. I would expect him to be in next season. I mean, they clearly have something planned for that character. He's got to come back. Otherwise, why say, oh, he's not gone, he's not dead. He's still around. So, he'll be important for sure. But, yeah, that's all I got. I hate that the event didn't properly play for me. I think I wouldn't have felt so weird about it if that had not happened. Overall, I think it's an interesting event. Like, I still want to know exactly the explanation of what happened to the Cube Queen, because that's going to bother me until I find out. But anyway, that's all I got, other than if you don't want to be spoiled for the Chapter 3 Season 1 Battle Pass, apparently don't go to Twitter. After all the talk from Epic about to the leakers to please don't leak the season, don't leak the new stuff. Well, guess what? Epic's Fortnite Poland, I think it was, Twitter account. One of Epic's official Fortnite accounts on Twitter accidentally posted the Battle Pass trailer early, before the event. So they went real big on, please don't leak it. We want everybody to experience this fresh. And they were the ones that ended up leaking it. Sometimes you need to keep your own house in order before you start pointing fingers at everybody else. But, sometimes these companies leak stuff on purpose to get people hyped. It's a leak, wink, wink, But anyway, rumor is now that the chapter is actually going to go back up live tomorrow. That what I'm seeing around Twitter from people is that it was supposed to stay down until like the 7th or the 8th, but the Battle Pass trailer is already out there, and there's already advertisements going on in like New York, I think, advertising Spider-Man. So, and that's who it is. Even if you haven't seen the teaser, even if you haven't seen the trailer, I haven't watched it. I've seen bits and clips, and I've tried to do my best to avert my eyes whenever I see something to that. The only thing I know is that they're already teasing Spider-Man for the next season. Is he in the Battle Pass? I figure he is. But that's all that the Spider-Man teasers are already out there. They're out in the wild. So who knows? Is the game going to come back up tomorrow? Maybe, maybe not. We will find out tomorrow. Or maybe tonight we'll if somebody officially confirms it. This information is coming from Xbox and PlayStation. So I don't know. Anyway, that's all I got for you this time. Like and subscribe, all that stuff. Go check out all my other Fortnite videos and my just other videos in general. Support my channel if you would through Ko-fi. That would be lovely. And we'll see you in Chapter 3. Till then, later.